Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Wow, it's been a minute. It's 8 whole months to be exact, like goddamn. There's a few things before we start. First of all, no, I still haven't figured out how to make my voice sound the right pitch. For some reason it still sounds higher, like a chipmunk, and I know it's been more than a year since I started this channel, but I still don't know how to fix it. Second of all, for some reason, whatever way the audio connects, I need to have plug-in headphones to listen back to the audio. So I actually have to disconnect because my plug-in headphones broke, in short. So I'm using Bluetooth ones. But to use them to listen back to my audio, I have to disconnect my microphone or else it just plays it out of the microphone, which does not sound good, I can tell you. So, yeah, if the audio doesn't sound great in this video, I'm really sorry. But anyway, it is July, and you know what that means. It's finally Artfight time. I've been like really, really busy at the moment with like becoming adult things. It sucks, but I have passed my theory test, so the roads are a little bit less safe. I'm joking I haven't even started doing lessons yet, but I passed the theory test, and that was the most nerve-wracking part, in my opinion. I'll say until I actually have to do the driving test, and then I'll be even worse. But anyway, but I have done a lot of drawings. I just haven't been doing videos. Like, I have so many drawings that I'm not getting them all done in this video. We'll get it done in the next one, right? Also, on that note, with a lot of drawings, usually for Artfight, I update all my OCs first, which I did do. Except for Soren and Abaddon. Listen, I have favorites, and it might be obvious, but yeah, I'm going to save all the speed paints I did of my OCs for a later video because of that. But I will get to it because I've effectively rewritten the entire story. Also, forgot to mention this at the beginning when I was giving my disclaimer on the audio. I have lost my mic stand. So my mic is currently being held in my hand with no mic stand. So I have no idea how that's going to affect the audio, but I sincerely apologize. I will hopefully find the mic stand before I record the audio for next video, okay? Anyways, let's get into it. I've held you up long enough. Let's just get straight into the video. I should probably explain what Artfight is first. I don't have this written down, so let's just go for it. So Artfight is an art gifting game where players are split into 2 teams. This year it's fossils and crystals, and I chose fossils. I actually didn't choose. I just said put me in a random team, but I probably would have chosen fossils. And those teams attack each other by making art of each other's characters to get points. There's a little bit more than that, but that's like the bare bones of it. As always, here is my Artfight account if you want to attack me. I have so far never failed to revenge someone. At least once. I tried to just, because I have this thing where I want to draw as many characters as possible. You'll see this is like a reoccurring thing throughout the video. So I tried to just, revenge someone at least once. I usually don't start revenge chains, but I might sometime soon. If you have like a ton of characters. I try not to look at people's profiles because the second I do, it's just a bottomless pit of characters that I want to draw. And I'm already bad enough, so, sorry, I'm dragging on again. If you want to just drop your user in the comments if you don't have time to attack me, and I'll check you out. I really do love seeing everyone's different like character designs and OCs, so if you have an Artfight account and you want to drop it in the comments, feel free to, because there might be other commenters too who are looking for someone to attack. Anyway, so this year I updated my OC's profiles. I wrote down, I made a joke about not doing Abaddon. I wrote this script 2 days ago. I made a joke about not doing Abaddons or Sorens in the thing, and it was actually pretty much the same joke as I said when I first mentioned it, so that I'm so creative. Sorry. Abaddon's is really bad. If you do go to attack me, please ignore his profile because his is like 2 years old. At least I updated Soren's last year. Abaddon's has not been updated for years now, and you can tell, and it's bad. But I'll get to it eventually. Anyway, the first character I drew was Blair by pkgalaxia. pkgalaxia. Oh yeah, I'm just going to mention this now because I forgot to mention it earlier. All creator socials will be linked in the description. And here is, by the way, my mandatory sorry for any mispronounced names, because I'm very likely to mispronounce a name somewhere in this video. That's just kind of my trademark at this point. Anyway, so Blair's pronouns are she, they. She died when she was 19. They're a mysterious and rambunctious ghost. No one knows where she came from, but they spend most of their time in an abandoned mall. They steal things and scare people off to mess with them, and it's very likely they're roaming the earth because of some unfinished business. Do you know when a description just makes you want a whole comic series dedicated to a character? Would this was that for me, basically. Like, I want to know what her unfinished business is. Does she have unfinished business? Or is she just there because she wants to be annoying? Because that's real. You know, like, how did they die? Like, what's happened here? What's with the scar on their face? I need to know now, and you've left me on a cliffhanger. Help. Anyway, guys, just, like, look at this character, right? I do not know why, but I opened Artfight really excited to start doing it, opened the browsing page, saw this character, and she just popped out to me, like, so much. And, like, I think that's just, like, speaking for the character design, like, the colors, the everything. Like, I was like, yes, I have to draw her. Like, I really also like about Artfight that you have this option to, like, experiment, because it's like, yeah, you're drawing art for other people, but there's not this, like, thing of it has to be super good. Like, you have the option on the page to do a rough sketch or anything you want. So I don't feel super pressured to do this mad drawing. So I kind of wanted to create this, like, ghostly vibe, and I had no clue how to do it. I'm going to be so honest. And so I just, near the end, was like, oh, I'm just going to erase parts of the line art. And, dude, I actually really like how it ended up looking. Like, listen, for Artfight, I never really fully polish a drawing. Actually, sorry, let me correct that, because anyone who's been here longer, you know, since the beginning is going to know this. It's rare for me to polish any of my drawings. Listen, there just comes a point in the drawing where you're just looking at it, you're like, there's lines that shouldn't be there, but you know what? I don't want to clean it up, so yeah, listen, there's just so many characters I want to draw, and you guys need to just stop making such cool characters, because I'm in the browsing page like, oh, I want to draw that one, and that one, and that one, and then I've bookmarked about 40 characters. But I think the messiness kind of works in this scenario because she's a ghost. Okay, now pkgalaxia's line art still looks much better, but let me just pretend I did something artistically smart and it was totally on purpose, and it totally wasn't just because I wanted to keep drawing. And also I didn't want to do line art because I don't like doing line art. It wasn't because of that. It's because I'm a super smart artist and I think through all of my decisions, okay? Anyway, there's Blair, and now we are on to the next attack. So my next attack was Dracana by Mothmonth, and the O in month is a 0. I found that out the hard way because I'm illiterate and didn't read that it was a 0, and spent 40 minutes on the attack page trying to realize what I was typing wrong. I'm not saying I'm stupid. I won't say that about myself. Self-love is important. However, I might be a little bit stupid. Okay? Now, it was kind of my fault for not just putting in the code for the character before I put in the username, which is what I usually do. So I was just going off of my memory, and I was like, it's Moth Month, but why isn't it going in? Anyway, sorry, ramble over. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so Dracana invents way too many crazy contraptions that usually end up exploding, and this is a direct quote, by the way. Someone take her inventing rights away. So suffice to say, she's my kind of character. Let women have hobbies, even if those hobbies blow up half a city. What's she supposed to do? Practice safe inventing? And if she practices safe inventing, then how's she supposed to know it's safe if she doesn't do it? Okay? It's like, how are we supposed to know that hot oil and water don't go together if we don't put it together? Okay, someone's got to do it. Anyway, on a different note, I love Dracana's color palette, and she looks like she's come like straight out of a video game where she just like subjects your playable character to trying all of her may or may not explode inventions to progress in the game. Obviously, I had to draw some fire in the background. Can't have her without her explosions. Also, I love the detail of the bandage, right? Listen, I love when creators think about the character's profession or background or personality in their designs, because, like, let's be real, there's no way she's not getting injuries based on that description. I don't know, there's just something so special about when creators are like, oh, you know, she does this, she's going to have injuries, I'll put a bandage on her knee, you know? Anyway, so there is Dracana, and on to the next character. Next is Orchid by abyssalstxrz, but the A in stars is an X instead. This will be in the description for anyone who's wondering, but it's a X instead of an A. And the only thing in her description is, oh my baby, my little critter. And I relate to your characters being that to you, like, a lot. I mean, all of my characters are my little critters. But guys, just listen. Look at her. She looks so sweet, and her color palette is so calming, and her jumper covering her hands was also a plus. I didn't even realize when I first saw her. I just looked and was like, oh my god, I love this color so much. That was the entire thought process. And then I started drawing her, and I've never been more pleasantly surprised in my life, because I hate drawing hands. Everyone hates drawing hands. So, you know, pluses all around. By the way, now is probably a good time to mention that I did in fact go back to traditional drawing during school. So if you're sitting there thinking I unlearned everything that I learned the last time I started going digital, I know we had that whole journey and now we've gone backwards. Listen, first of all, I cannot use my actual drawing tablet right now because my desk has been converted to study mode. Actually, currently it has a painting on it, so it's painting study mode. Basically, I had to clear off the drawing tablet. It was put in a box. It's in the corner of my room. Don't know if that's good for it, but it's in the box it came in, so it can't be bad for it either. And I have books everywhere. I still haven't cleaned up after my summer exams. I know it's been a month. I was busy, okay? I had shows, and I had a theory test to study for, and auditions on top of that. There was a lot, okay? And then I was brought to Cardiff randomly, okay? So I happily went to Cardiff. I was like, this is great. But yeah, it wasn't that random. I mean, I found out a good while ago, but anyway, I'm rambling a lot. Anyway, I had a great time in Cardiff, okay? I'll probably talk about that more later, but not in this video because this is getting long already. Anyway, so basically because of that, I haven't really drawn digitally in like yonkies bar on my mom's iPad, which is what all of this was done on, and I am not afraid to say that I was doing all my drawings on my mammy's iPad because, you know, I was. She doesn't use it that much anyway, so it's basically kind of mine currently because it's constantly in my room and I'm using it all the time, but it is my mom's. Like, when she needs it for work, I have to give it back, and I'm sure she loves trying to explain why there's a bunch of random drawings on her iPad. Anyway, aside from that, basically, the reason I went through all that for ages is because I just want you to know that if you're looking at my drawings going, oh, she's gotten worse, I've actually improved. If you look at the sketches are better. Even if I might do a sketchbook tour or something soon. I know I said I was going to do a sketchbook tour last year and it never happened, but maybe this year. I'll show you. I have actually improved, and I feel like I've improved, which is good because it's like, you know, sometimes you don't feel like you've improved, but it's just I haven't drawn digitally in yonkies, like actual yonkies. So anyway, because Orchid had no hands, I added in a few little extra details because I was feeling it because I didn't have to draw hands. But on that note, I was about to get on a plane to Cardiff, actually, so I did have to rush like all the little finishing details a bit before I had to get up to get on the plane. So, you know, here's Orchid. Like, listen, dude, I actually cannot get over her color palette. Like, why didn't I think of that, you know? The next character actually belongs to my cousin, and I drew her on the plane while sitting beside her because I went to Cardiff with my cousin. I might give a disclaimer that my cousin has yet to update her character's pages since last Artfight, so some of this might be different now. don't kill me, Izzy, please. If you are watching this, I'm just going off of what's on your Artfight profile, okay? So according to last year's description, just hammering that home. Yeah, when I was drawing it, she was going on about how she hasn't updated it yet and she needs to update it. So I just want you guys to know that if you decide to check my cousin's profile out and you see that all the pictures are different, it's because she was talking about updating them, but I drew her before she was updated, okay? Anyway, so Ophelia hates everyone and everything. Well, not really. She tries to. Her vibe is like the sarcastic older sister in a sitcom. Witty jokes and soul-crushingly judgmental looks. That was a tongue twister. She's a trans girl. She loves imperfect makeup and all genres of music. She plays original music on her shitty keyboard for only her to hear. And this is my favorite line, and I wish more people put this in their character's description, and then we could have a competition for it. But she said, the most lesbian to ever lesbian. So I'm sorry. Listen, if you don't have that on your character's profile, it's too late. She's taken the position. I surely felt it. I was like, damn it, she's taken the position of that. Yep. So, yeah, she wins. Sorry, guys. Anyway, childhood trauma, you know the drill. There is more to a description, actually. But I'm actually going to leave it, because why don't you check her out on Artfight to read the rest? I know. Promo, bit of nepotism. We love it. Anyway, I will admit, actually, Ophelia is probably my favourite out of all my cousin's OCs. I'm not biased, I swear. I'm a little bit biased, but, you know, she's just cool and chill, and I want to be her friend, you know? I drew her in her casual clothes because I only had a half an hour on the plane, but I love her formal clothes as well. She looks like a witch in, like, the best way possible. To be honest, the real reason I had picked her casual clothes is because I liked the t-shirt a lot. I want that t-shirt. Give me that t-shirt. Anyway, there's Ophelia. Moving on to our next attack. Okay, so I am making this the last one for this video. You might notice I'm already over the usual amount that I did last year. It is because I am way behind on the amount that I need to put in a video. Like, if you look, I have enough for a whole nother video as is. By the time I upload the next video, I'll probably have enough for the one after that and possibly the one even after that. I'm going a bit insane this year. But anyway, it's fine. This is why you shouldn't give me a portable device to draw on. It doesn't work out. I just won't stop, okay? But I am going to make this one the last one. I just feel like the video will get too long if I do too many. So the last character for this video is Artemis by... This is the first one I'm definitely going to pronounce wrong. Pyokkoi? I'm just going to spell it. Pyokkoi. Again, it'll be in the description, so it's not like I have to say it right, but I just feel bad if I'm not saying it right. Anyway, he is a rich elf man who can be a bit sassy, but has good intentions. Now, I will say, first of all, anyone who knows me from D&D, although I don't know if you guys... did I ever upload about my D&D campaign? I've been in a few, but there was one I was in and I played this tiefling, and Artemis's description really reminded me of that tiefling. But I don't know if you guys are there for that, but that wasn't the reason I clicked. Anyway, some of you also may know, because I know I did talk about this on this channel, that I am a massive nerd when it comes to mythology and Greek mythology as well. Like, you know, it's no exception. I have read both the Iliad and the Odyssey. And I have this book, and I forgot what it's called, but it's like all the myths and legends, and there's like sightings on it. And I love that book so much, and it has illustrations and all and pictures of artifacts. And I've had that since I was a kid, and I think that's where my interest kind of comes from. So I would be lying if I didn't say that that was kind of one of the reasons I clicked on Artemis. However, this is my reenactment of what I was thinking when I saw it, because I don't read things before I look at things. I was like, oh my god, like that design, look at the hair, look at this, look at that. And then I went, oh my god, his name's Artemis. I'm not shouting because my brother's room's right beside me with a really thin wall. But imagine I screamed that at the top of my lungs. I don't know if it was more of a scream or more of a kind of like, oh my god, you know, like, that's cool. But I say that all to say, I looked at his hair and his sunglasses, and my whole heart is with that hair and that sunglasses. Like, why didn't I think of that? You guys are so good at, like, designing characters. I need to sell my soul to a witch to get your knowledge. Like, actually. Also, for anyone wondering, no, Artemis, the character, has nothing to do with the goddess. Pyokkoi just thinks the names are cool, and they're 100% right because, me too. Anyway, I just thought, like, okay, listen, let me just put this forward to you. The green underneath for the hair and the clearest I've spelt it really weirdly as well. I've written down the things I've liked about all the designs so that I can just like in bullet points. I need to stop telling you guys how I write my scripts because it's actually really sad. Anyway, in bullet points, I have what I like about all the designs, and then I can just ramble about it, right? So I have written, and I'm going to pronounce this how I wrote it, clearinch standalo. What is that? I know what it's supposed to say, clearish standalone straps. The straps going from his shoulders, they're kind of clear. I think they are anyway. I kind of started drawing them thinking they weren't clear, and then I looked, and then they look clear, and I was like, that is so cool. It was like Artemis was one of those designs where, like, as I drew it, I kept noticing things, like the fact that the sleeves go from like a white into like a greeny color, and every time I noticed something, the design just got cooler and cooler and cooler and cooler. Like, genuinely. Also, the belts. I love belts. You can never have too many belts on a character, and I will fight you over that. Also, having them on his boots is the best idea ever. Why didn't I think of I act as if I don't have boots with a ton of belts. I have boots with a ton of belts on them, but not that many belts. Also, yes, I did accidentally start drawing him backwards in the middle of the speed paint. I know someone's going to point it out. Let's just not mention it. Okay, I only realized this, like, as I was rewatching the speed paint. I was like, how did my brain, after I started drawing him backwards, somehow compute that one side was the other side on the actual drawing and then draw it? That I don't know. I don't know how my brain works. A lot of people don't. It's an enigma. We're not going to question it. This video's 22 minutes long and counting so far. I'm having a midlife crisis. By the time I edit it, it'll be a lot shorter because I've made so many mistakes. But anyway, so there's Artemis, and here is the end of our video. We got through it. It's the first one in a long time because I'm struggling to get through this script. I am okay. And before you say it, yes, it would help if I wrote a whole script, but that would take way too long. Anyway, I'm like really behind, and I have a whole nother video worth of characters finished. So this will be fun, And here's the part where I talk to you guys who haven't done Artfight before and are maybe thinking, oh, maybe I'll do it, but like I heard last year that there's a few things going on. I didn't experience any of the negative effects that were experienced last year, so I can't really speak for it. But I love Artfight so much. Like, it's a little community of artists who just draw fan art of each other's characters because they like the designs and like no other reason. And to any artists that are thinking of joining, I would highly recommend it. Again, if you attack me, I'll attack you back. If you're not sure about attacking me, you don't have to. Give me your username, and I'll do that too. On that note, you actually might not get attacked a lot. I've only gotten one so far this year, and you can see how many drawings I've done. And by the way, the attack I got was fab. Like, I was in Tesco with my brother. I can talk about this. I was in Tesco with my brother, and we were going up the escalator, and I was like, oh my god, I got attacked, and it's so cool. And my brother was just standing beside me like, what are you talking about? Why are you happy about getting attacked? But like, genuinely, if I didn't get attacked at all this year, I wouldn't care, because I just love getting to draw people's characters. Like, I've never seen certain characters before, and there's certain things that you never think of putting on a character, or you never think of doing with a character, that you see people do for the first time, and you're like, that is so cool, I want to draw that, and it's just your time, especially because, like, you guys know, in my universe, there is kind of like a certain style to it. Everyone's like universe with their OCs, and it will have a certain style. And because of that, you can obviously sometimes be very limited to just drawing characters in that style. It's kind of why I like doing a few videos on Skullduggery Pleasant, because I get a break from my usual, world building that I have to kind of keep in. Which I don't find to be a chore, really, but it is nice to take a break and draw something in a different way. And Artfight is just one of those things where every single character is so different that you're just drawing something different every single time, and it's kind of freeing in a way. I don't know how to explain it. I just really enjoy Artfight, and it's also just really nice to get to interact with other artists that you may have never talked to if you didn't do Artfight. Like, it's genuinely one of the best parts of my summer every year, and something to look forward to. Like, I had my 5th year exams and I was dying. Leaving cert's going to be hard next year, guys, but anyway, but I was just like, you know what, after this I just get to enjoy my summer. I have this coming up. I'm going to Cardiff, I'm going here. I'm not telling you where else I'm going on my holidays, because just in case, I'll tell you after I go on them, but not before. But yeah, Cardiff, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to the beach so much, and I'm going to get to do Artfight. I'm going to have so much fun. And that just kind of gets you through the year, because you have something to look forward to, and it's nice to have that thing to look forward to. I know there's certain other, like, yearly art competitions that go on. Like, what's that one with the, what are they called? It's the character design competition that you enter, and then there's, like, they're not called game pieces, but they become game pieces. I forgot what it's called, but, that's supposed to be really fun as well. So, like, to any artists, especially young artists that are out there wondering, like, what to do with your summer, there's so many online competitions that go on during the summer, and not even competitions. Like, Artfight isn't really a competition, but it's really just good to have something to, you know, just do, because it's, like, even for Artfight, you're drawing so much, and you don't realize you're drawing so much, whereas if you're doing, like, your studies and all this, you'll realize you're drawing so much, and it can sometimes feel like a chore. Like, no one's going to say it doesn't, but, you know, it's just nice to be able to do something that you can't really get tired of, because everything's so different. Anyway, I've rambled on for pretty much 28 minutes now. So I am going to leave it there. Have a good day and week and year and rest of your life. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully next week, but we'll see how it goes. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, I used to do an Irish word of the week, didn't I? So let's just go with mal, where it means slow, because, you know, it's nice to finally get to slow down for the summer. Yeah, let's go with that. That's such a weird one to pick for such a weird reason. Anyway, bye.